and he is Dr. Sofo Tanko Rashid Computer. He is currently the acting CEO of GIFEC and also the Deputy National Director of Elections and IT for the NDC, and he's seated right next to me. Good morning, Dr. Tanko.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm terrific.
Great.
Yes.
Which of the names do you prefer? Tanko, Computer, Rashid? Which one?
Tanko Computer.
You know, earlier I was asking you a question.
Yes.
Everybody asked.
Yes,
Is Computer your real name?
Yes. Computer is my real name. I had several times explained it, and then it keep on coming because it's unusual to see somebody called Computer.
Exactly.
Yes. Actually, it came as a result of my knowledge in sciences and maths at the lower level. I was saying God was so charitable to me in terms of talent in those areas at the maths and science at the very earliest stage of my life.
It looks like people are messaging you a lot. You're on TV.
Yeah, it was an area that I would not blink an eye when it comes to answering questions on it. If you do and take my JSS papers and LSS, you will see that I've always either 98, 99 or 100 in those areas. Where the earliest, we used to call as Raleigh students, were the first batch of the JSS program that was started. And then at that village where I came from, I came from Bimbila, northern region. I grew up. I was born in Bimbila. I started my primary school in Bimbila, Jilo Primary School, then proceeded to Wulensi. So I'm from two towns, Wulensi, which is just next to Bimbila. The JSS over there, from such a rural area, when we wrote the exams, I got distinction, aggregate 7. At that time. So, in fact, the headmaster took me on his shoulder and was parading me around the village. Because the whole district, nobody could get distinction. But that village, this young man got distinction. In fact, I should have gotten 6 self. But I got English, I got 2. So that made me to get 7.
Did you have access to teachers?
Yeah, at that time, we had these national service people who used to come and teach us in Wulensi JSS. I remember one from Tema. He was very brilliant. The gentleman was very good. And one from one man, Mr. Guma. I still remember them. He was teaching us Greek science and all these things. So, in fact, our headmaster, Mr. Sulante, may he rest in perfect peace. He did a lot for me. At that time, I lost my parents at a very early age. And so...
How old were you?
At that time, I think I was just 6. Yes, when I lost them. And so I picked up. I realized that it was through education that I could survive. And the man picked me up because he saw the talent in me.
Right.
And then so I didn't, in fact, disappoint him when I got distinction. The whole district, nobody could get it. And then so my name came up up there. I got this thing, admission in top schools across the region, but that time I didn't have the money to go. So I had to make do with Bimbila Secondary School, which is my village school. So I attended Bimbila Secondary School at that early age. That's how I got the name Computer coming from, because, at that time, they had just moved the secondary school education from 5 years to 3 years. And then we were to do the first 3 years. And then... unfortunately, when we entered the first year, I had a terrible disease that bogged me down for well over almost 12 months. I was bedridden. Well, we do have some traditional diseases in our area.
So
spiritual, something like that, on my leg. So I was down for almost a year from February.
Do you know who did that to you?
How can you tell at that time? A very young man like that, and then busy doing this. So we had these 2 VSOs who were teaching us. One was teaching English, the other was teaching mathematics.
The whole school, you had 2 teachers?
No, I meant VSO. They were voluntary service overseas. They came from UK. In fact, they used to come those days to come and teach in the rural areas. Right. They were wise, welcome to teach English and maths. And then one Madam Catherine, she was handling that mathematics because she could slangs and other things. My colleagues would not get what she was doing. I was the only person who could understand what she was doing. And then so when I got the disease and I was in the house, I got a friend who was always bringing me notes. When they finish classes, he'll come home, I'll be on the bed, I'll take the notes and I'll copy the notes and be reading whilst on bed. So when we were to write the end of year exams, the headmaster insisted they should allow me to write. So I was picking on a bicycle, always, every day, to go and then sit for the exams. Although I didn't attend classes for the whole year, but I was able to write the exams. And I came up tops.
Huh?
Yes, I came up top. I beat everybody in the class. That's how the computer came.
So wait, you're always studying. Are you that kind of person that you're always studying, or it just comes to you naturally?
No, I study. When I pick a document and I read it once, forget it. When you ask me, even 100 years time, I will repeat everything for you.
So you were
It's just nice. I was just born like that. It's gifted. We have that thing. I was gifted.
Okay.
It's like, because I would say God was very charitable to me, because I lost the parents at that very tender age. I had this thing in me that when I pick a document, I read it, it just sticks.
Wow.
And then so the maths paper on that day, I got 98 or 100, and the second person came. Yes, and the second person got 57. I still remember that. So that's where the woman said, "This is a computer man." I didn't even know what computer was at that time, at that village. So they started calling me the computer from those areas. Maths was my baby.
So now you write the name computer.
Yes, I had to gazette it along. I gazette it. It's properly gazetted, and then I added to my names, and it has taken over, because actually a lot of people don't know my real name as Rashid. They know me computer. So if I mention Rashid, people find it difficult. Who is that?
Yeah.
Even my bosses sometimes didn't know that his real name is Tanko Rashid.
Right.
They know me as computer. If you go to the party quarters across the country and you mention you are looking for Tanko Rashid, they say, "Who is that man?" But mention computer and it's like Wi-Fi. So it's all over the place.
Brought you to Accra though?
Yes. So that is how after my school days, I left secondary school and then went to teacher training college. In fact, you see, I don't know the time you have. I would have walked you through my academic distinct processes. When I finished secondary school, God was being very charitable to me. We were 103 of us who sat for the first exams. Only 2 of us passed. Myself and a young lady. She was likely to apply because she was seated by me.
So you helped her?
Something like that in a way. Okay. Something like that. And I could, at that time, would have been in the university, but because of financial problems, I had to make do with teacher training college at that time, just to help myself. At least at that time, we had this teacher, the stipends coming. So I went to teacher training and became a teacher, a professional teacher at that time. I was so lucky to, because I won an award in the teacher training college as one of the best students. At that time, we didn't have enough teachers to teach secondary schools. But at training college, when you finished, you were supposed to go to GSS or primary school, not secondary school. Because secondary school was meant for graduates and diploma holders and all that. We're doing set A. But the wisdom of Ghana Education Service then, looking at this young man, his talent, we can't send him to GSS. So I was sent straight to a secondary school to teach.
Oh, wow.
That's why people don't know.
Wow.
The computer started a long time ago.
Okay.
I was sent to secondary school from training college set A straight to secondary school to teach. So I didn't teach at lower level.
And you were still in Bimbila?
I was back to Bimbila. By that time I was in Tamale training college.
Okay.
Tatko, we used to call it Tatko. It's now Tasi. So I attended Tatko. When I finished, then I was sent back to Bimbila Secondary School to teach. So whilst there, I said, no, I have to get to university. I mean, to have a degree, because my colleague teachers there, I would say they were worrying me, because I said A holder and they were a diploma, some degree. So it's like they were looking down upon the certificate I was holding.